Jeff, you're 1-4. It feels good to finally get a win under your belt, and somebody got good pitching, timely hitting, and very patient at the plate.
Yeah. No, we've a lot of the things that you've seen kind of working on the last 3 or 4 games here. You could see us take the next logical step and progression in those things. And if you look at over the course of the season so far, and you can just see the incremental improvement, and that's what it's all about. And that's what you ask the kids to do. You ask them to just improve and stay the course and consistently attack the game plan, and we did that today. And you could kind of see, obviously, us break through and go and kind of run away with it, which was, I was very excited and very happy for them to see the kind of the fruits of their labor and the work consistently they've been putting in, and then to be able to go and have it happen in real time was very exciting. So I was very impressed. And I was very proud of them.
Coach, you mentioned that improvement last night as well, but today you got a new situation playing with the lead. How is that different than in past situations where you guys have been trailing a lot this year?
Well, if you look at the second and third game at Clemson, we had the lead both days there in the middle of the late innings of that ball game. And so if you look at today, when we had an opportunity with the lead to add to it, right, to add to it and put somebody away, so we were able to do that, right? And so I guess we've played now. This is our 5th game, so 3 of the 5 games we've had the lead going into the 4th or 5th inning at least, and so we were able to finish a ball game today for the first time. The inning where we had 2 outs and nobody on base, I think Tyler Jones walks and erred by the second baseman, and then Bobby comes up with 2 strikes and hits a double on the third base line, scores 2 runs. It's a big moment, right? Where you continue to add on. That'll be something we talk about as a group, that we continue to just add pressure and add runs late. I did think we gave away a few at bats there, got a little bit big and expanded, but for the most part, we continue to add pressure and go. I mean, there's just only so much that you can control in the game, but the things that you can control, you have to, and we did a good job of that. We did a good job where there were moments earlier in the year where we had a lead, and we have to continue to just attack, and we weren't able to do that. But today we finished the ball game.
Jack, 2 things for you. One, Louisiana coaches mentioned that you thought you were effectively wild, but you really made a lot of big pitches when you got behind in counts and that. But how important, A, was that to get out of kind of tough situations, and B, what was it like coming back out after that long 30-something minute inning? Did you have to worry about staying loose there?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge part of pitching, especially in these conditions. It's obviously not ideal, but as a pitcher in cold conditions, you have to stay hot, you have to stay warm. I felt like I just tried to go after them and attack them. They did a great job at laying off some good pitches early on, but I felt like I made them when they mattered. And I think that's just our mindset as a pitching staff, is we're going to be tougher than you and we're going to go right at you the whole game. So, yeah.
And how does it feel to have that first win under your belt?
Feels great. This team has earned it. We've worked our butts off. Like Coach Mercer said, each game we found something that we've gotten better at, and we're starting to add those things together. And obviously, you're seeing the outcome of that today, beating a really good team, regional team. Now, it's just the beginning. We're going to get going, and we're going to get rolling the rest of the season.
Coach, you guys had 2 more home runs today. I think that's now 5 homers already on the season. Is that something kind of with the lineup and focus that you think can be a big strength of this team?
Well, I think we have physicality, and I think anytime that you have physicality and strength and some twitch, those happen, right? But they're not. It's not a focal point. And you can ask the guys. It's not something that we talk about. It's not something that we practice. Honestly, I stopped BP in the cages the last 2 days and told guys to get off the pull side net, right? Get the ball in the middle of the field. But when you do have strength and you are talented, those things can happen, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But honestly, our main focus is to play the style that each guy can personally play. In a lot of ways, the way that Bobby plays is a main focus for us. Is the slasher elevates pitch counts. We like to steal some bases, but then also having those guys in the middle of the order that, if you throw a fastball in the middle of the plate, you got a chance to lose one. It's always a good thing too.
Bobby, you've been hitting pretty well really since the season started, but how good was it to see everybody around you today too, just kind of like putting together a bunch of good at-bats and a bunch of successful appearances to play over and over and over again?
Oh, it was really good, yeah. As a team, I think we've been grinding pitchers out the whole season. It just hasn't gone our way. We just haven't gotten those timely hits that we had today. But as a whole, we really grind pitches out. We have long at-bats. We're hitting balls hard, and today we finally broke through. It felt really good.
Jack, to kind of go off that, how does it feel as a pitcher knowing that your starting lineup has you back when you're out there on the mound?
Yeah, I think that's something our team embodies. I think John talked about it week 1 going into the season, is we all feel like we have each other's backs. There's never a time that I'm out there that I don't feel like we're out of a game, whether we're down 10 runs or up 10 runs. I have full faith in our offense that they're going to get it done and get us in a game. And our job as pitchers is just to keep us in that game as long as possible. And at the end of the day, the outcome will reveal itself.
Jeff, can you talk about what you got from Kraft and Tucker, and then what are your plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, Crafty needs to get better with this changeup. I felt like the fastball breaking ball combination kind of ran out of steam there a little bit. Ryan's been terrific, and he's going to be a great pitcher here for a long time. But the development of that changeup is going to be a big thing for him. But he's very, very competitive. He's going to come after and throw strikes. Tucker's a guy that we rely on and we trusted him, and obviously in the wet conditions, and we just wanted to make sure that we took care of the game. We finished it off, and so he's a guy that we really have a ton of faith in. But filled it up for the most part and finished at bats. A couple of full counts there, preferred not to get into, but was able to fill it up and finish the thing off. Both of them were competitive, and just looking. Those guys will be main guys for us as we go down the stretch, and it was big to get that first one under the belt and then move forward.
Hey, we got one on the Zoom real quick.
We do, yeah, from
I don't know
Carl
about
James.
tomorrow, to be honest with you. I really, I honestly don't. I know there's a couple of guys that are up. Yeah.
Coach, it looks in that beginning you guys laid off of a lot of one-strike fastballs. Were you trying to be patient there, or was it just kind of worked out in the end?
Were they called strikes, or they were fastballs for balls, Carl?
Fastballs for strikes.
Fastballs for strikes. Honestly, when we get into those 1-0 counts or a leverage count, we'll go into a 3-ball zone. And so if the pitch is not in that 3-ball zone, we'll take it. And then when we get to a 1-strike count, we'll go to a 5-ball zone. If it's not in that 5-ball zone, we'll take it. So it kind of depends on the situation, and you have to have trust in those guys to be able to manage their at-bats in that way. But we're gonna force you into the strike zone, and sometimes that can be to the detriment. You can fall behind at times, but if the one thing that I've been confident in is when we force guys into the strike zone, especially fastballs in those zones, we've hit them really hard. And if you go back and look at the hard hit averages and look at the way that we've made solid contact on fastballs in those zones, that's the basis and foundation of a good offense. We've trained that incredibly hard. It was a big focal point for us this offseason. And so I would rather guys work into that zone than expand that zone early in the at-bat and trust that we can finish at-bats. Now, we need to do a better job of finishing at-bats, and we will as we go. But as a baseline clip, we've been able to work guys into those 3- and 5-ball zones better and then sting them when they get in them. And I would say that's probably what that would be in that beginning. And I didn't give the take sign one time in that entire inning. I thought about it a couple times, but I didn't give the take sign one time. I actually gave 2 or 3 green lights and 3-0 counts because I trust the guys and I trust their training to be able to hit in those situations.
Bobby, how well are you seeing the ball right now? You see you've been hitting every game pretty much since the season started. You seeing it real well?
Yeah, I'm seeing the ball well. I'm just going up there and I'm competing. That's all I want. I just want to beat the pitcher. He wants to beat me, but I'm gonna compete harder than he does.
Got time for probably one more.
Just follow up on that top of the third, Bobby. You got to come up twice in that inning. What was the talk like? Because it just kept snowballing.
Yeah, that's a good feeling for an offense when you get to come up twice in an inning. We're talking about what the pitchers have, and we do a really good job of that. When you go up to the plate, you know exactly what you're getting because the guys that either got out or got hits are telling you exactly what's coming. So yeah, it was a good feeling.